Walter Clayton Jr. was easily one of the most talked about players throughout March Madness. He just led Florida to a national championship and was named the tournament's most outstanding player. He had a few different incredible performances and always came up big when it mattered the most. But depending on who you ask, some people say that he should be a lottery pick and others say that he's not even that good. I haven't seen a whole lot of in between. I mean, Jay Williams went on national TV saying that Walter's game is a mix between Damian Lillard and Steph Curry. Then even went on to say that he can make a case that Walter should be the second or third pick in the draft. While that's definitely insane, I get why people are so high on him. This man hit a season's worth of clutch shots in a single tournament run. I'm not kidding when I say that either. He made like 5 different massive shots in their game against UConn alone. Like, none of these are normal, and he wasn't playing all that good either, but somehow stepped up when the team needed him to. Then he did the exact same thing against Texas Tech in a game where he scored 30 points. They were down 10 with 5 minutes to go, and he hit some of the clutchest shots I've seen a college player make. That includes 2 pull-up fadeaway threes that completely changed the game. Just massive shots all coming from one player. But that brings us to their matchup against Auburn in the Final Four, where he yet again hit multiple big-time shots to help win them the game in the final minutes. Plus, he also had 34 points, so on top of the clutch shots, he was already the reason they were in it. Walter even had a couple big-time shots in the championship game despite not playing very well in the first half. He had a couple slow starts in some of those games, but still always showed up when it mattered. To him, he didn't care if he made it or missed it, but he was going to be the guy to take the final shot. To not be afraid of any of those moments and have it all pay off with a national championship is something you'd see in a movie. And honestly, the more you look into his past, the crazier his story gets. Walter finished the tournament averaging over 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting 47% from the field and 43% from 3. There's a reason he won MVP of the entire tournament. Not only did he win it off the eye test, he had the stats to back it up as well. He literally went from a unanimous second-round pick to a first-round pick in the span of 6 games. Not to mention, he scored the most points in a title run in over a decade and was the first player with back-to-back 30-point games in the Elite 8 and Final Four since Larry Bird. However, to really appreciate what he did in the tournament and to truly understand how good he actually is, we also have to look at his season as a whole. His numbers on the year were pretty similar to what he was doing throughout March Madness. He wasn't as unbelievable on a night-to-night basis like he was in the tournament, but he was still really good. He led Florida in points and assists and had some really impressive performances. But Walter had 3 different 30-point games throughout the season, and 2 of them obviously came back-to-back in the tournament. His other 30-point game was against Kentucky, which was easily one of the best games of his season despite not winning. He still had 15 games with over 20 points and 17 games with 5 or more assists. So although he wasn't putting up 30 points every other game, he was consistently putting up his numbers. And you also can't forget this team won the SEC championship too. They were able to bring home 2 different trophies. Like we've seen, Walter can clearly play, and if you can knock down contested shots and make winning plays when your team needs it, then you can play basketball almost anywhere. He's a shot-first guard that isn't scared to go finish at the rim. Walter's a lot more athletic than I think people even realize. He showed it during the tournament, but he's had some plays over the regular season that were pretty unreal. His body control is great, and he can score in the paint in so many different ways. He made 118 shots from 2-point range and 117 shots from 3-point range, so he can mix it up, but definitely rather take that 3-point shot. I mean, Walter had 15 games with 4 made 3-pointers or more. That's really impressive for someone that's in college. Plus, he's also got a nice handle and knows how to get to his spots, whether that's navigating a screen or weaving through defenders in the paint. I'd almost be willing to call him an elite shot maker, especially from beyond the arc. He shot 39% from 3 while taking 8 of them a game. That's not normal. His passing is a bit questionable at times, however, when he's doing everything, he looks like a top-tier playmaker in general. On defense, there's some good things and some bad things. The good news is he's 6'2". If he was any shorter, then it would be much harder to make up. Walter finished this year's season as a consensus All-American, the SEC Tournament MVP, the NCAA Tournament MVP, and a national champion. Like I said at the beginning, he went from a prospect that could be taken anywhere in the second round to an easy late first-round pick. And really, the only reason he will drop in the first round is because he's 22 years old. In the eyes of scouts, that means you're an all old man that can't get any better. Every single year, we see 4-year college players fall in the draft to a playoff-ready team and contribute immediately. So I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw that same situation happen with Walter Clayton Jr. Do I think he's a not-so-hidden gem? Yes, and I also do think he could have a ton of potential. But at the same time, I'm not going to say that he has a Jalen Brunson ceiling like I see a lot of others saying. Look, he totally could, and I hope he does, but realistically, that's a pretty far stretch. If he didn't have one of the craziest March Madness runs we've seen in a while, then most casual fans probably wouldn't even know who he is. That's the only reason I'm not going to guarantee his success in the NBA right away. However, I do think he gave himself a much bigger chance to get a role from day one. There are some flaws in his game for sure, but when you can knock down shots and come up big in moments like he did, he's easily worth drafting and seeing what he could become. I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. 4-year players in an NBA environment can improve a ton, so this could just be the beginning. He improved every season while in college, and I don't see why that would suddenly stop once he gets to the league. He's a mystery box, kind of like Jared McCain was. You saw the potential, but you didn't know if his game would translate, and for Jared it easily did. I know he struggled at times throughout the tournament, but teams were also guarding him like he was prime Steph Curry. Look at how Houston, the best defense in college basketball, was guarding him. The fact that they even had to do that shows how good of a player he is. But to be honest, Walter was built for this. His journey to get where he's at now is insane. If you didn't know, he was a star football player in high school and held offers to schools like Notre Dame, Tennessee, Nebraska, and West Virginia. Yeah, he was really good, but stepped away from all that to play basketball. The only problem is he was a 0-star recruit when it came to basketball. He was able to commit to Iona University and went on to average 7 points per game throughout his freshman season. Then from there, he became an every-game starter and began to take off. Then once he transferred to Florida, the rest is history. Walter's another prime example of betting on yourself. Who knows what he could have been if he continued to play football, but he's created quite the basketball career for himself coming from a 0-star recruit. And to cap off his college career with a national championship and tournament MVP is as good as it gets. Florida's path to that title was not easy either. They played some of the best teams in the country. They had to beat the back-to-back national champions in UConn, 4-seed Maryland, 3-seed Texas Tech, Auburn, who was the top overall seed in the whole thing, and 1-seed Houston. If there was any team that truly deserved a win, it was Florida. They didn't just win the trophy, they took it. And in the process of doing that, Walter will go down in March Madness history for being the leader of that team. He's a super exciting player to watch and has earned everything around him, so I'll definitely be rooting for him as he transitions to the NBA. But let me know what you think about Walter Clayton Jr. in the comments, and please leave a like on the video to support the channel. Also subscribe if you're new for more basketball videos just like this one.